everyone, and thanks for joining me back on my channel. If you're new here, I'm Maria. I live on 40 acres with my husband and two beautiful horses, a kelpie, some chickens and some sheep. So I've been on a bit of a journey and I wasn't sure, and I don't even know where to start with this video. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this video, but if you've been following along on my journey, I just thought I'd give him a groom while I'm chatting to you guys, so I'm not just standing talking. Yeah, if you've been following along on my journey, I normally would ride my chestnut mare Bella, but I don't know how long, I was going to look that up. It's probably about a month ago now. Might even be a bit more, I got the news that I was going to have to retire her from ridden work, which I have done because she has, well, essentially she has wobblers, which is a malformation in her neck, in one of her neck vertebrae. It's only in one. She doesn't show, I mean, now that I know, everything makes sense and it all falls into place. But on and off for years, we've been having little issues that no one's ever been able to really get on top of. We've tried all sorts of different things, as you do, and pretty much we were just treating the symptoms and not the cause. We finally got to the cause of the problem. So I'm super happy about that. And if you have been following along on our channel, you'll know that I'm very much try and live my life with gratitude and yeah, just see the good in everything. And I had been doing that, so I was really pleased. I was really pleased for Bella that we found what the problem is and we can now get on top of it and address it. So yeah, I was super happy about all of that. But I did end up on a bit of a tangent of what's next. Sorry, I'm still getting over my cold. And I saw advertised on the internet, as you do, this beautiful little bay, essentially a show pony, which you know, I thought I could turn into a dressage pony, and I got all excited. He was a little bit on the small side. He was only I think he was about 13.3 hands high. I'll insert a little photo here. He was at a super duper price, and I don't know why, but I just got it in my head, yeah, let's buy another one. Anyway, I think I didn't expect Bella to become my kind of another heart horse. When I was growing up, I had a beautiful chestnut gelding who was 13.3 hands high. Wow, it's windy. I hope this microphone's helping. And I got him when I was 9. He was 2.5. And we had quite the journey together, and he lived and he managed to get back here to me. Anyway, it's a long story, and I might do a vlog about that one day, but essentially he lived to be, I think he was either 33 when he passed away, and he's now buried here on the property. So he was my everything, took me all through my, you know, growing up, all my hopes, all my dreams. He was just like the most amazing pony ever. And I never thought I would find another one. And if you have been lucky enough to find your, you know, your soulmate in an animal, you'll know what I mean. Anyway, along came Bella when we bought this property. So I had some time off through my 30s, you know, building a house, building a business, and just didn't have the time. And my old boy, hello gorgeous, my old boy Duran ended up going and living with my mum for a little while. And anyway, we bought the property and my husband Andrew wanted to ride, so a client of mine, I'm a hairdresser, a client of mine lived on essentially a cattle station, but they ran and bred horses. So throughout the history of that station, back years and years ago, they used to use the horses for all the mustering. So they ran an Arab stallion out there with a whole heap of stock horse mares. So Bella, she said, I've got the perfect horse. She just loves people. She loves to be around people. She's really kind, really sweet, and she'll be the perfect horse. So we got Bella. We actually bought her before we settled on the property, as you do. Cart before the horse. Well, horse before the property. Yeah, so she was purchased, and basically for my husband, really. But of course, she was green, he was green, so I had to do a bit of work with her, and she's, I don't know why I wore black today. I'm getting absolutely covered in white hair. That was not a good idea, Colmy. yeah, so I started working with her and she was just the absolute dream to work with. I actually forgot a lot of the time how young she was. So she was about 2.5, 3 when she came to us, and she just took everything in her stride. She was just so easy and so brave and so calm. Yeah, so essentially I started really working a lot with her and riding her and just fell in love with her, and she helped me gain my confidence back again, because that was something that really surprised me, getting back into riding as an adult, because I grew up riding my whole life. My mum rode, so I mean I was on a horse before I was even born. And yeah, being away from it for a while, it's amazing how you do really lose your confidence, you lose your seat, I suppose the muscles that you would normally use. So that took a long time for all of that to click into place again, and Belle was the perfect horse for that. So we have been, and if you follow along, we've been growing in our confidence and growing in our journey to the point where I'm been out competing a lot. And she tried her absolute hardest, and now that I know what I know, I'm just so grateful and so thankful to her that she did her very best under the circumstances. So I take my hat off to her. She's just a beautiful mare. Yeah, so I was out competing a lot. So she helped me in so many ways, starting off just going to the local pony club, to again also my confidence in towing the float, because I hadn't really done that a lot. That's really grown. Anyway, now that's all obviously come to an end, and along with it, all of my kind of hopes and dreams for the future. And I don't think I'd really addressed that until only a week or two ago. And again, everything happens for a reason. So this journey of starting to look for another horse. Anyway, so let's get back to the bay. I've gone off on a complete tangent, but it does give you a little bit of context and a little bit of background. So I was looking at this little bay, and I rang up the person that was had been training him, essentially, for the owners that were selling him. And I had a chat with her on the phone, and I'm so thankful. She was really honest, and he was only, I think, 4 or 5. He'd been out to a couple of shows, done really well. So he was ready to go on with, and I thought that'll be just perfect. But he had a hard time at the breakers, and she said, let me tell you about his story. So straight away I kind of thought, I don't know that I want another story, because I've just retired one that was a bit of a story. So anyway, long story short, he'd had a hard time at the breakers, the poor darling, and he had ulcers, and he'd been scoped, he'd been treated, re-scoped, the ulcers were gone, but it just put off red flags in my mind, unfortunately. So I hope he does find his forever home and goes on to have a happy career. But I just wasn't prepared to take that on. I don't think I just have the emotional strength for that at this time. And so anyway, that then, of course, once you start looking at things on the internet, the algorithm throws up all this stuff. So along came all these adverts for all these different ponies, and then I thought, well, how about maybe we'll look at getting a baby? So then I know its story right from the beginning. I had toyed with the idea of putting Bella in foal in the past, being that she's a mare and she has such a beautiful temperament. But now I'm a little bit reluctant, because even though the vet said that this condition she has is not genetic, I want to look into that a bit more. She also does have some metabolic issues, which I don't know that I just don't know. It takes a lot more research and a lot more thought, because I don't want to be breeding a pony from her if there's going to be ongoing issues. And I think out there in the wider world, there's so many ponies that are being bred, and there is so much for sale out there. And unfortunately, I think we're going to get to the point where there's too many horses for not enough, people, because the cost of living, the cost of horses is just far exceeding what people, can afford. Anyway, that's a whole different story. You're going to sleepies. Am I putting you to sleep, my darling? I'm probably putting the viewers to sleep as well. Yes, anyway, up come all these adverts for all these different ponies. Oh, and a fart comb. And yeah, so I started looking at some young ones. And there's a stud that I'd been following. Again, she does riding ponies, Australian riding ponies, show ponies. And she had a little one for sale, a little black pony. I'll insert a little bit in here. And we did go for a drive and we went and checked him out. And it was so funny because I've never purchased one apart from Belle, but she was actually at the point where she had a saddle and bridle on her. So I sat on her. But going to see, like, this one was only just rising 1, so super duper young. Yeah, so it was just a matter of, I suppose, meeting him, seeing if there was a bit of a connection, giving him a lead, which I did, and he was really, really sweet. But seeing in the flesh really confirmed to me, oh my gosh, he is such a baby, like a foal. Which started my brain thinking, do I really want one that young? Anyway, let's fast forward another week on, and there's these 2 little fillies who I had seen a while back on the Facebook page, and they were German riding ponies, so bred for pony dressage, so perfect for what I would want, you know, down the track. And again, they were rising 1. And I actually had in my mind that I wanted to go gelding again because I'd never had a mare before. Bella was my first mare, and that's been quite the journey, even though admittedly a lot of her sassiness and her issues would have been pain related. I know that now. But mares do have a reputation, and of course they have hormones, so they can be temperamental. And I grew up riding geldings, and of course, like I said, my first pony was a gelding. I should keep moving. I keep stopping and talking. So I had said to myself that I wanted to go just with a gelding, but these 2 girls were really such a good price and, you know, such good breeding. So I went on a whole tangent on the internet of researching their sires, their dams, their studs that they came from, German riding pony bloodlines. It was super interesting actually, but you know, hours and hours of research. And yeah, I had one of them in mind who was super pretty, and I'll put a photo of her in here. Beautiful star, beautiful trot. And anyway, so we went and had a look. Mum came with us. We went up and had a look at them. They were just in the paddock and they're really, really fluffy with their winter coats. So we did that, and then when we got there, they all came up to the gate. They were so friendly, been really well handled. And I actually fell in love with the other little one called Brandy. And she had just the most gorgeous temperament, or seemed to. Anyway, I think it was a week later, just Andrew and I went up to have a look at Brandy, and the owner who bred her, oh, I can't get this out. Gee, those birds are loud today. She, yeah, she'd got her down into the indoor arena, and so I could handle her and see her trotting, and oh wow, she was absolutely stunning. But I really liked her, but again, it just sort of was nagging in my mind that, oh my gosh, Maria, they are, you know, so young, have absolutely, you know, no brain. And then the thought of even floating her home was starting to make me feel a bit anxious. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that going to look like? You know, how your brain, I don't know, my brain just runs away with me sometimes. And the anxiety started to creep in, and I just wasn't 100% convinced. And anyway, we left there and we were driving home, and the tears just started flowing. And Andrew sort of looked at me and he's like, Maria, this is supposed to be a happy time. Thanks, Colmy. You know, why are you crying? And I think it was at that point that it really, I allowed myself to feel that disappointment that I won't ever ride my best friend again. I don't think I'd really felt that. Like I said, I was sort of running on gratitude and kind of empathy for Bella and all the relief of knowing what's wrong with her, and now being able to make her comfortable. I was so happy about all of that. But I kind of hadn't addressed the fact of my own loss, I suppose, the loss of my goals and my dreams and what I wanted to achieve. Not that they're great things. I mean, it's not like I want to go out, and that's what I said to Andrew, it's not like I want to go out and, you know, qualify for the National Dressage Championships or anything. I just really enjoyed going along to my local dressage clubs and having fun, and I've met so many wonderful people, which I can still do all of that. I can go and pencil and help out, and I have met some really lovely people, which has been fabulous. But I love going out and competing. I love the training. I just love everything about it. And Bella was just so, like I said, she was so easy. So accommodating, so brave about everything. And I think now that I've had time to kind of reflect and assess all my feelings about all of this, I was trying to fill a void. So I was thinking to go out and buy the next shiny, you know, flashy pony was going to fill that void and make me feel better. But at the end of the day, when I really got down to it, it wasn't. It was going to cause me more stress, more anxiety, and a very, very, very long time before I would be back in the saddle on that particular pony. So when I was there looking at little Brandy, all I kept imagining is her when she was 4 or 5. But that's a really long way away. And like, I'm about to turn 52 in a few weeks. Not that that's old, and I hope that I am riding, you know, well into my 60s and 70s, which I don't really want to think about all that just yet, that's too far away. But yeah, it's a long time. And I have this little munchkin. So you might be wondering, well, Maria, why were you out looking when you've actually got one at home? So, shall we dive into Colm's story? He has been with me for quite some time now. He has been on again, off again in work. He has taught my grandchildren, or step-grandchildren, but my grandchildren essentially, he's taught them to ride. My mum has ridden him. He's fabulous here at home. I have hardly taken him out anywhere. And that was the other thing with this buying a baby. I was like, Maria, you have anxiety and stress and worry about taking him out. How are you going to cope with a baby, really? So the thought of it was great, but the reality of it was pretty scary. Colm also, over the last couple of years, has developed a bit of a cough and sort of allergy. I did have him looked at by a vet, and Colm is also on lease to me, even though it's a forever lease, and he's essentially, I class him as my horse. Yeah, so I had his owner's vet come out and check him. I was a bit concerned because I was trying to get him back into work to get the weight off because he's a podgy boy, and I was a bit concerned that this cough and reluctance to go forward and move might have been you know, something else going on there. Anyway, the vet assured me that it was an allergy type thing. And at the time we had a lot of cape weed, like dandelion, which was in flower, and the pollen was really upsetting him. So we have got on top of that. Andrew's definitely on top of that with spraying. So this year we've got no cape weed in his paddock. There's a few little pockets here and there around the place, which, you know, he missed when he was spraying, but essentially there's none around. So hopefully that will help. And I have also put him on antihistamine medicine, which is actually human medicine, and he loves it. So he's on that all the time at the moment in this kind of allergy prone time. And I'm also trialling some different supplements which help support respiratory and immune system. So I'm doing all of that, and I'm thinking the fitter he gets and the stronger, fitter, lose some weight, I think that will help as well, which it is. I actually lunged him yesterday and he didn't cough once, so that was an improvement. Generally, it's just one kind of cough when he starts getting going, and then it kind of clears it and then he's okay. And I've spoken to a few other people and they've said their horses are have the same sort of thing. So I think I'm a bit of a worrywart as well, but I just want them always to be happy and healthy and comfortable in their work. So long story short, and if you've stayed this long, I really, really thank you. He's my number one man. So I've been around in a bit of a circle, done all this research. Thankfully, I came to my senses before I purchased anything. And yeah, I'm just going to crack on with him. So in doing that, I was going to aim for a competition in November, but I'm going to play that by ear. I don't want to take him if he's not ready and if I'm not ready. I have taken him out to the dressage and we did the practice ring, but I want to be really, really ready. I want him to be confident and for me to be confident on him. So there's going to be more lessons and obviously a lot more work here at home, getting him fit and getting him in shape, and me as well, because I haven't been really riding properly for a while now. Yeah, so that's probably what the content will be. It'll be sort of grooming, fluffing around, getting him fit. I have also been doing a little bit of free work in the round yard with Bella because I need to keep the weight off of her because she is turning into a hippo. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So Colmy here is going to be our number one man and see how we go. And I think too, it's kind of like, I love and adore him and he's super cheeky, but it's building that relationship, isn't it? And that relationship, clever Maria, that relationship only comes with time and building that confidence and that trust. And so hopefully, yeah, he will worm his way even more into my heart and we'll build that confidence and trust and we can get out and have some fun together. So that's where we are at with the emotional roller coaster that has been the last few months. I have also had a bit of a cold, so that did put the fitness on hold for a while, but I'm over that and the weather should be improving. So hopefully we can, yeah, crack on and you can come along for my journey with Colm. We start at the beginning all over again, which again is quite kind of daunting. I've found it a bit, what could I say? Depressing is a bit of a depressing word, isn't it? It's not depressing. It's been a bit hard because being back at the start of anything is always hard, isn't it? But, you know, there's lots to learn and I'm sure I learned a lot with Bella and I'm sure I'll learn a lot more with him as well. So I hope you all stick around, so please like, comment and definitely subscribe if you want to keep up with what's going on with me and the ponies, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.